Never kick a man when he's down. He may get up again. And I like this one. A man who rolls up his sleeves seldom loses his shirt.
Tom Trout has a talent for coming up with catchy sayings. Every week for the past 23 years, he has shared them with drivers who travel Interstate 95 through Jacksonville.
The sign today is going to be, the older you get, the older old gets.
My wife and I up in North Carolina at a little furniture store, you know, and so I'm writing down my check, and he looks at the check, he says, "Are you the Tom Trout in Jacksonville, Florida?" I'm saying, little old me in Jacksonville, Florida, why? He says, "Oh, I look forward to your sign when I come down to Florida." I'm thinking, this guy up in Carolina, you know. Then I'm down in the Bahamas. I'm in a little restaurant with 8 tables. And he says, "Are you the Tom Trout in Jacksonville, Florida?" And I'm thinking, really? He says, "Yeah, you have a sign in Jacksonville on I-95. I mean, that, you know, this is out of Jacksonville, you know. I mean, this is people that I didn't know they'd know a little old Tom Trout in Jacksonville, Florida, you know. I started getting all these letters, hundreds of letters, and I got one that meant more to me than any of them. He was a truck driver. He says, "I drive from New York to Miami every week." And he says, "The highlight of my trip is when I go through Jacksonville, I want to look up and see what you have on the sign." Now, this is a guy who's a truck driver, you know. Why would he take the time to do that, you know? Then I got letters of, "Man, I was considering suicide this morning. I'm coming over the bridge, I'm coming to Jacksonville, you had just a message for me." I'm not a particularly smart guy, but I have trained myself to take something you might say and make a meaning out of it. You never know which ones affect which people. Well, the ones that really meant so much to me was where it actually gave a person a turn in their life. It just happened to be just the right message for that person. Now that's where I get my thrill from. You couldn't compliment me more than just say, "Hey, you had something up there that really," that's where I get my so-called adrenaline rush.
At 82 years old and retired from the daily operations of the business, he is preparing his son to take over this most important job.
I want to pass the baton to him. Now, fortunately, I have a book here with all my sayings. This represents probably 400 hours or more. So I'm up to, right now I'm up to 1,596. I had one of the papers or the Trout Jr. asked me, "What is your legacy?" You know, I don't really have a legacy. I'm not a very important person. But I am important if I can affect some people's lives. And apparently, I do. Oh, I don't, the sign does. So my legacy really, if I can change a few people's life, that's all I want. I'm not looking for any fame. This is a little more amusing. Forbidden fruit is responsible for many a bad jam. Do you like that?